The other day, the firearm guy did a video, and he was talking about someone who shot their finger off. And I had told him that I know somebody personally that had shot their finger off. So, I'm going to tell you how he did it. And I actually disapprove of some of the things he's done. And there's other guys out there doing the same thing. However, you know, it's you guys, so you do what you feel most comfortable with. However, if you had done that in one of my classes, I would never have approved it as far as a safety aspect. But that's just me. So everybody does what they feel most comfortable with. There's really no right and wrong way. It's whatever's the right way that makes you most comfortable and safest. Now you can see I just took this out. Now, this is a detective. I'm not going to mention his name because he's still active. Even though this did happen back in mid to late 80s. And by the way, I have all my digits. Here we go. Whoop, go this way. Okay. Anyway, this is what he would do. He'd be sitting down in his living room watching TV, cleaning his gun. Now the first thing was they went from revolvers to semi-automatics. And after years of carrying revolvers, they put them into the semi-automatic and they gave them 4 hours training. And then left it up to them to continue on from there. Now you know what, 4 hours you say, okay, you know, to get used to a gun or whatever, but it's, you know, we all know that it takes more than this. And being law enforcement, all right, you know, their chances of using it may be more than others. However, statistics show, according to my chief, when we had our coffee, was saying that more officers die of car accidents than anything else. Anyway, this detective continues to do his own training, therefore he has to do his cleaning. All part of the overall exercise. So anyway, he takes out his mag, he clears his chamber, he pops the round in the mag and he puts it there. In my opinion, that's the first thing he did wrong. When I clean, and I said it before, and I'm not trying to pound my chest, I've been teaching since '72, and I still do what I do today. When I empty a weapon, and I'm going to clean it, excuse me guys, it's early in the morning for me, this magazine or any ammunition is out of my reach. I would have to make a conscious effort to get up and go retrieve it to put it back in. However, I'm going to do what he did. The weapon is there. Excuse me guys, I'm sorry. He's cleaning his weapon. He's broke it down, he's cleaned it, he's just about done with it. Now what he's been doing all his life during the cleaning of this gun anyway, was when he's done, after he gets to the point where it's put back together and he's wiped it all down to make sure that it's all spiffy clean, right, he would load it, chamber it. If he had to replenish one in the magazine, he would, and then he at that point would holster it for his next day's duty. That's what he's always done. So him getting up, all right, is going to make him basically put his gun into operable condition. So what happens? He gets a phone call. His wife says, "Babe, telephone." Well, back in the mid to late 80s, cell phones were just about out and they really weren't that popular, so he had to get up to answer the phone. Well, what does his habit do? His habit is to put the magazine into the weapon, all right, drop the slide, drop his hammer, holster his gun. Well, he got this far. He goes and answers the phone. He comes back, knowing that he was interrupted now because things just don't feel right. And I'm sure you guys know what I mean there. All right, there's something's not right. What did I forget to do? Did I do? What didn't I do? So what's he do? He takes the magazine out of the gun. He removes, well, he didn't remove, I'm removing it because I don't want to take any accidents here. He takes the magazine out of the gun. He got into a habit of chambering his gun from the front, from the muzzle end of the slide, because there were some serrations on this particular gun that they were using. I forgot what it was. I think it was a Smith. All right, and at that point, he got into a habit of chambering it from here. Now this is back in the 80s because it looked cool. All right, he seen one of his fellow officers do it. He did it, and he thought it looked cool. Now I wasn't aware of that at the time. So anyway, what's he do? Now again, I want to make sure. Yeah, it's empty. This one here is no way I'm going to be able to chamber this from the front muzzle side of the barrel because it's just too tight and there's nothing here to grip onto. He goes to clear his chamber, and when he does, the hammer's going back, but because he had fluids on his hands because he was just done cleaning, all right, he had this finger up here. He's chambered it like this. He's trying to empty the magazine, rather, not the magazine, the chamber. All right, he's trying to clear it. Well, what happens is the oils made the slide go forward. The hammer was not all the way back. The safety was not on. So the hammer comes forward, drops on the round, blows his pointer off from the knuckle up. So anyway, he's telling me the story because I noticed one day he came into my shop and he was missing a digit. And he's telling me the story. And I said, you know, I can understand not having enough training for one, you know, but come on. You know, in my opinion, and the way you've been trained in the past, I'm speaking to him now, is that you never keep the ammunition next to you. One. Two is, you never keep your hand near the front of the muzzle, near the front of the gun. You do everything you can to avoid that. That's why when we practice, we keep one hand up on our chest, or we keep it behind us, we keep it in our belt. We don't want to take a chance of it getting in front of the gun. So why did you start chambering it from the front of the gun, from the muzzle end? He said, because it looked cool. I seen one of the other guys do it and it looked cool. And it looked cool. Well, good for you. Now, do you feel you look any better? Do you look cool seeing that you're missing a digit now? I said, would it have been any cooler if that round didn't hit your finger and went through the wall and hit one of your kids? Right? So how cool is it really? You know, tell me. You know, looking cool or being safe? What would you rather be? Yeah. Now I'm talking to him at this point. You know, and again, this was back in the 80s, so. So at that point, you know, he kind of puts his head down in shame, and I continue to batter him as much as I can, and, you know, because I'm treating him as if he was a newbie at this point. And that was it. So he did. He shot his finger off. Now, even if he forgot where he was, and he was to do it properly. Now, what's properly? Okay, old school. All right, that's the way we do it. But at that point, you know, naturally you have to do it any way you possibly can if you have to do it. But at that point, if he was to do it this way, the way that he was originally taught, right, that round probably would have never gone off. And if it did slide, where was it going to go? Down in front of him, into the floor directly in front of him, where it's a safe because there's nothing below him. So we really didn't have to worry about it, right? But that was it. So that's how he shot his finger off, and he lives with it today. Catch you later, guys.